Yeah, so the VMAs, right? Joe comes out and he says, "Thank you for all the extra security provided by G Unit." What is your immediate reaction when you hear him say that?
I'm like, at that moment, my reaction is based upon the group's reaction. We hear, we looking at each other. I think we probably said, "Boo, he was a bitch," all that. Ooh. So I can't, like I said, it's a blur at the moment, but we was in there feeling ourselves. The way 50 operated at the time, he was assigned a seat in Celebrity Row, way down in the front, sprinkled amongst individuals like Puffy, Mariah, R. Kelly.
Oh, so you can't even see his reaction because he's separated from you.
Not we see the back of his head,
It's the back
but
of his head.
he was so physical his reaction. We saw it because he got up
Oh, okay.
and he showed out. That's why he never tells this story the way it actually happened, because him and Fat Joe are friends now. But we were sitting higher up in the stands. He would be allotted a couple seats as a celebrity, a superstar, but he was wise enough to obtain a couple rows worth of seats for the homies. So we used to be up 2-3 rows, each row 12 to 15 people deep in the stands, while he was apparently down there by himself with his regular security. So when Fat Joe lied and said we got police, no, he had a whole bunch of regular hood niggas with him, and he moved like that constantly outside of the security he used to have directly on him as a mega superstar that had almost lost his life due to, random gunfire or direct gunfire. But anyway, when he first said that, we looking at each other, we get hot. We boo, we talk our shit.
This is like you, Banks, and Yayo, or who?
This is me, Banks, Yayo, but Banks and Yayo used to have entourages.
Gotcha. Okay.
Plus their entourages. I'll allow everyone to remain nameless, but the individual sitting next to me, and as we began in pursuit, was Murder Mace, none other than Mace.
Wow. And so 50 gets up and he's walking around the stage, because I think that you were saying that he was like trying to get at Joe at that time, right? Like trying to provoke him.
Well, yeah, well, what happened was after Joe said that bullshit about G Unit and the police, he had a second opportunity to take the stage from the opposite side. The way these productions work, the first time we see Fat Joe, he's like if it was a compass, he's at north at a stage. He said the police bullshit. And then the stage will go dark right there. It'll light up around the western section, and a star will be performing. It'll make you lose your mind on what you just saw. The production is now here. The production crew will be breaking down that side. Then after that production that they directed you to in the Western Hemisphere, as soon as that was over, the lights came up in the Southern Hemisphere, and Fat Joe had another time to take the stage.
Oh, okay.
Now, at this moment, it's a blur. I don't know if it was the first time or the second time, but at one of these moments when he took the stage, it was the first time he took the stage on this Northern Hemisphere, because this is what caused him to say the whole ass police shit later on. Wasn't no police, wasn't no homies, no entourage or nothing. Like I said, 50 Cent had a designated seat like in the first row of Celebrity Row. The first slight was Puffy did the introduction. And when he came out, he did a whole speech about I see stars. And he started pointing at people in the audience. And as he went down the road, and he was like, I see Mariah Carey. And the spotlight would shine on Mariah Carey and she'll wave. He'll point at the very next celebrity. I see Shaquille O'Neal. And he went down the line, and right when he got to 50, he skipped 50, went to the very next celebrity. That's what really got 50 on his tip off top.
Gotcha.
This was the first introduction of the motherfucking awards. So these are the same awards when we started chasing Fat Joe, we crossed Beyonce like this, being led by production backstage because she's about to present or perform. Right. This is the high level of the awards it was. So at Fat Joe's first chance to speak, after Puffy had already did that bullshit and excluded him from that high-end celebrity roll call intentionally, skipped right past him, The next energy that 50 took personal was Fat Joe getting up there to speak. And I swear to God, on my mama, we've all seen a million stage shows. Until we saw Will Smith do what he do, award shows. Until we saw the Will Smith shit, 50 did what Will Smith did. But instead of getting right up to Chris Rock and slapping him, about 2 or 3 steps from the podium, he just walked across that motherfucker and mean mug Fat Joe. To the point where Fat Joe was like head down reading the teleprompter. For tonight's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And before he realized it in his peripheral, 50 was right here mobbing across him. He didn't just gorilla him and rush him, but at that point, Fat Joe, it was on you to be offensive. And Fat Joe looked up, saw what was going on. He swallowed an elephant-sized lump in his throat. Didn't say nothing disrespectful. 50 mobbed across the stage. This is when I became a real 50 Cent fan. Fuck his motherfucking material, anything the world appreciate him for. This when I became a real fan. He mobbed across the stage at almost arm's reach.
You saw that he was a real motherfucker at this point.
What? Everybody saw it. Game was in there, R. Kelly was in there, Puffy was in there, Shaquille O'Neal was in there, and Nelly, and then another multitude of celebrities on that level were in that motherfucker present and saw it with their eyes. And I'm up in the motherfucking stands next to Murder Mace, just a fly on the wall, soldier in the movement, super active, ready to move with the heartbeat of whatever is cracking. And when he did that, when a nigga do that, bro, the next move that might happen is definitely going to be on me. I swear to God, because that's the type of leader, the only type of leader I could ever find myself calling myself following to any degree. He disrupted one of the most high-end, elite, high-profile events by showing his ass and marking Fat Joe out. Fat Joe didn't say nothing when 50 was in fucking reach of him.
Wow.
He shut the fuck up. Then, as 50 got out of reach, he kind of like gathered himself and began to do his presentation and read the teleprompters. And the whole time, 50 walked around the front row of the whole arena, just giving dap to all the people who he didn't know if they like me. If you want to like me, don't know if you want to like me, but all the celebrities that was mentioned in that early roll call by Puff Daddy, he went and got all the attention while Fat Joe was trying to do his announcement. That's what prompted Fat Joe to come back the second time when he popped up and say that bullshit police shit, because 50 had just marked him out to that extent. I would never tell a lie. That's exactly what happened on my mama.